welcome back fisher folk. Today we have another fly tying video. I am going to tie the stick fly. It's basically an olive Perdigon, but it uses real quill. I didn't make this up, but I call it the stick because I fish it with my carrot fly. Now this is probably, I don't necessarily fish it the most, but if I could only fish one fly, this would be high in the running because it's probably my #1 most consistent producer all around. On a day where the fishing is tough, this is a fly that I'm like, it will catch fish. So hope you guys get something out of this video. You'll see a couple tips and tricks. Otherwise, let's get into it. All right, so today we are tying on Fulling Mill 5045 size 12 hooks using Fulling Mill 3.8 millimeter slotted tungsten beads. So it's a large sized bead. That's what I like, a nice bulbous head on there. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, probably a decent amount of what is effective about this fly is just a big shiny bead on there. But I'm gonna wrap in some 10-aught orange Vivis thread right behind the hook or the bead. Wrap that down about that far. Trim this bad boy off. Finish wrapping the rest of the way. Nice touching wraps. Now we take some fibers from feather out of a whiting tailing pack. Most guys say 3 to 5 fibers. I'm going to use this chunk right here, obviously more than that. I just don't think 3 to 5 gives the visibility I like. Plus, more importantly, I might fish this fly all day and you're going to be breaking them off after a while. So it's easy to make a tail too long. So underestimate, lay that along the back, nice and short. Wrap it in gentle and wrap all the way forward. Keeping those fibers along the back of the shank, nice touching wraps till they're in the slot of the bead. And trim that off. And then nice touching wraps back down. You want to keep the thread body underneath this nice and even the whole time because it's going to show up underneath the quill body if it's uneven. Now we're going to tie in our piece of olive quill, and this is where it gets tricky. Quill is difficult to work with. That's why you're usually going to see this fly with like Vivis quill body or some kind of synthetic thread because it's a lot easier, especially if you're getting it from a fly shop. But I think this looks way better this way. So the key is that when you're prepping, you put all of your cut quill into a glass of water, and that'll make it, just let it marinate in there, that'll make it way more pliable to work with. So quill has a bend to it. So we got the side with the curve towards it and then the kind of the U on the inside. I'm going to tie this in so that the U is pointed towards the shank. Now tying this in the proper orientation is the real key. I like to just give it a little bit of, not that much, tail. Nice wraps, get it in there strong. You guys know the drill, nice even wraps forward. And a 2-turn whip finish at the top. Forgive me, I'm working around the camera for the first time, so forgive me if I'm a little clumsy with that still. Now we're going to grab this quill, pull it forward, and then bend it this way. And nice touching wraps around the shank. And this way you end up with the little tiny feathers that are on the edge of a piece of quill pointing upward, giving a strong ridged quality to your fly, which is the key that we're after here. All the way up to the bead and then tie that in. Now we have a mostly finished fly and we just need to build up enough of a thread base at the head here to hold that bead in place. So I'm kind of pulling forward, letting wraps get up in under the bead, and then this actually takes some finesse because a lot of times as you build up this head, the thread will slide off the back down the shank and you end up with more of a hot spot up front than you want. So this just takes some practice, delicate balance. I'm gonna put one back there, one here, and then I better give it a little bit more. It's hard to tell when I have to look from this far away because I got the camera. Okay, now I'm at a spot, yeah, where I think putting in the whip finishes will finish this up for me. Now this fly definitely runs the risk of being a little fragile, so I like to put in some good heavy whip finishes. So a 4-turn and a 3-turn. And I'm trying to get that knot right along the top to line up with the slot. Trim that off. Now we basically have a finished fly. You could go fish this and you'd catch a lot of fish. I used to put a black dot in here. I just don't bother with it anymore. I really don't think it makes a big difference, and it's way more work than it's worth. It's the step that takes the longest. But I am gonna add a nice Solar Res lacquer on top of this. So I'm gonna give it one heavy coat because like I said, that quill is pretty fragile. Sorry, I'm doing a less good job than usual, and that is 100% because this camera is where my hand would normally be. So I'm trying to layer it on thick here. And with those ridges out and towards me, they're gonna stick up through it still and keep that ridged texture in there. Now I'm gonna hit that with the light. And I'm gonna do that twice because quill is delicate. I wanna get some endurance out of this. Now this is the kind of fly, you can fish this all damn day. And no matter how much Solar Res you put on, at the end of the day, quill is quill, fish teeth are sharp, it's gonna eat it up a little bit. I like to get some lacquer down in here. But even once that quill starts to fall apart, it's gonna hold its shape somewhat, and the fish just don't seem to care. It seems like even as it's breaking apart a little bit, maybe it looks like a dead, killed bug or something, and they just love it, man. So yeah, that's probably my number one all-round fly that's gonna catch fish anywhere and everywhere. New videos every week. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll catch y'all in the next one.